In the community of Hartington, we keep life simple. The simple moments, a simple smile, and keeping you connected to the world with simply the best internet service. Hartelco has built a fiber optic broadband network that powers your homes and businesses' Wi-Fi with super fast download speeds up to 100 megabytes per second. Imagine no buffering and the whole family using your Wi-Fi at once. It's simple. Upgrade to the speed you need by calling Hartelco today.
Hi, I'm Brett Wiedenfeld, Chief Financial Officer and Ag Lender at the Bank of Hartington, and I'm also a Northeast Nebraska pork producer. At the Bank of Hartington, we have the tools and knowledge to help your operation grow. We understand the challenges facing our producers and are eager to assist with all the financial needs of your farm. We understand the challenges because our ag lenders have true ag experience.
When you sign up with a big satellite dish company, you'll get stuck with those huge satellite contraptions on your home and a long-term contract with pricing that increases dramatically when they say so. But that's not how Hartelco does business. We aren't about to pull some city pricing scheme on our friends and neighbors. Only a short 6-month contract with free installation and without those unreliable dishes. We have local service and support, and that's how we do business. Don't get stuck with a dish. Stick with Hartelco.
Good evening and happy Halloween. Hartelco Sports welcomes you to the Hartington Community Complex, Russ Hochstein Field, for tonight's Class D2 first-round high school football state playoff game between the visiting Mead Raiders and the home team, the Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats. With Mason Miller and cameraman Corey Pearson, I'm Ken Knife, and we'll be bringing you the action tonight on what really, Mason, is a very nice night for the last day in October.
Yeah, absolutely, considering the weather we've had the last couple of days where the wind seems to just tear through whatever layers you've got on. It's managed to kind of, turn into quite a nice evening for first round of state football playoffs.
Exactly. You and I were just visiting a short time ago about when we went down probably about 9 years ago, and played Howells, a team that we normally didn't play. And that's always kind of an interesting deal. When you get into the playoffs, you play a team that you really have never played. You don't know a lot about them. You don't have really any common opponents. I think for the fans, it's always exciting. It's fun to play somebody new. From the coach's standpoint, sometimes you don't know exactly what to expect.
No, it's a whole different ball game. You don't grow up with these kids around you. You don't know who they are. You don't know how well they play. Come in, and it should be pretty exciting game tonight.
Exactly.
For both teams to kind of see as the game goes on, start to figure out, okay, this guy is fast. The coaches were right. We need to wrap up better because this guy, he's going to keep his legs turning. It's just seeing all those things. You're going to see which team prepared well for the not common opponent.
Exactly, and both teams come in at 5-3. The Wildcats came in. They were victors in like I said, 5 of their ball games. They defeated Niobrara Verdigris 52-7. They defeated Wausau 54-8. They lost to CWCE Chambers Wheeler Central Ewing 36-14 in the game that was played a half, and then due to weather, finished about 2 weeks later. They defeated Randolph 38-32. They lost to Allen 34-28 in overtime. The Wildcats defeated Wynot 40-20, Wausau 50-18, and then last week lost to Bloomfield 46-36 in a game that saw the Wildcats leading at the end of the third quarter. Mead Mason comes in at 5-3 also, but their season's a little different in that in their 5 victories, they won 4 of them handily. 74-26 over Parkview Christian. They defeated Omaha Christian Academy 62-12. They defeated Pender 34-30. They defeated Cedar Bluffs 64-12. And they defeated Emerson Hubbard 20-6. They lost their 3 games that they lost. They lost those handily. Clarkson Lee beat them 44-8. Elmwood Murdoch 66-22. Johnson Brock 44-0. And those 3 losses are all to good teams.
Oh, absolutely. Johnson Brock, from what I've understood, they do have a player on their team. Division I recruiting going on there.
I believe his name's Ty Hahn, and Nebraska, I know, is looking at him. They're looking at possible scholarship, possible walk-on. So again, both teams 5-3. Like I said, really no common opponents. The closest would probably be Emerson Hubbard, that Mead defeated 20-6. And even though the Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats did not play Emerson Hubbard, they played some teams that did play Emerson Hubbard. The winner, Mason, of tonight's game faces a road where they will play the winner of the Pender-Bloomfield game, and Bloomfield's going to be heavily favored in that. Bloomfield's ranked number 3 in the state. The winner of that game, again, anything can happen, but in all likelihood will play Falls City Sacred Heart, who's ranked number 2 in the state. The winner of that game would then probably get Humphrey St. Francis, who's ranked number 1 in the state. Those teams are all in the East Division of the brackets.
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the common thing over the years is your East Division has had a lot of strong, high-seeded teams.
And it does seem to be no different this year. Mead, again, like we talked about, they come in at 5-3. They're a team that does some different things. They'll run out of the spread. They'll run out of basically a full house backfield or a wildcat, whatever you want to say, with really 2 different backfields. And you don't see that often.
No, not often.
they're a team also coming in that we look for them to take a couple shots deep. They seem to have a very talented receiver in number 16, J.T. Haig. Mr. Haig has got 29 balls on the year for 624 yards and 5 touchdowns. So they'll more than likely at some point take a couple shots deep with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, going back to that preparation, all week long coaches were emphasizing this is their guy they want to go to. The numbers point to it blatantly. This is the guy they want to throw to at any point in the game.
Exactly. And then the Wildcats come in, again, you and I have talked about different times during the year. They've got 2 extremely talented receivers, and Sam Harms, who runs 6'7", Jake Pites, who's had a big year as a sophomore at 6'3", Kobe Heitman, who does practically everything. He runs the ball, catches the ball, returns kicks, at times
solid
punts.
Defensive player.
And it all then centers around Shea Morton. Shea Morton, this young man that started at quarterback for nearly 3 years for the Wildcats. Shea comes in tonight completing 50% of his passes. We will finish this after the national anthem. Okay, welcome back. We're ready for the opening kickoff. We were discussing at the beginning, or just prior to our break, about Shea Morton being a dual threat the offense kind of centers around him, and we'll talk more about that as during the ball game. The Wildcats won the toss and deferred. They'll be kicking off, and I will at this point, Mason, turn the play-by-play duties over to you.
Sounds good. Matthew Meisenheimer will be doing the kicking for the Wildcats. Been a solid year for him so far. Kind of a squib kick here to start it off. That'll drop about the 25-yard line. Mead will look to get on it. Looks like the ball signaled loose, and it comes up. Hartington-Newcastle ball. Not sure exactly what happened there. It seemed like it was pretty solid. He kind of just slipped over the ball, came loose. So Hartington-Newcastle starting off first down and 10 at the Mead 24-yard line.
Man, if you're the Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats, you couldn't ask for a better start. They've been doing a lot of those squib kicks towards the end of the year. Mead, if you're Mead, that's the last thing you wanted to see to start the ball game.
Morton coming out in shotgun. He's got Carson Sudbeck in motion. Speed option, it'll be a jet sweep to the left, reverse. Heitman's got some room down the sideline. He'll cut it back up the middle, and that is 6 points. First play of the game for the Wildcats, taking the lead.
That's something that I know Coach Ulrich talked about during the week, was trying to make an effort to get Kobe the ball more and in different ways, different situations this week. And they start off by, like you said, running a little option reverse to him. And Sam Harms had a tremendous downfield block. He was able to latch on to his player. And evidently he may have gotten a little too good of block.
Unfortunately, it will be called back. Those are the things you don't want to see. So the 6 points will be taken off the board as there is a holding penalty against the Wildcats.
When I was looking at the block, it looked good, but the referees evidently saw some jersey grab or something like that.
So being a spot of the penalty flag, that'll be first and about 5 now for the Wildcats, shotgun formation. Morton will keep on this one up the middle. He'll fight his way for a gain of 4, maybe 5. And they will mark it second and short for the Wildcats.
And Mason, watching film of Mead this week, one thing I did come away impressed with was they do seem to rally to the ball really well defensively, very aggressive. Maybe that worked against them a little bit on that option reverse. But I was really impressed the way they get a number of hats to the football.
Warren comes out shotgun formation. He's got Carson Sudbeck in the backfield with him. He'll hand it off to Sudbeck this time up the middle. He'll fight his way. Got more than one white jersey holding on to him. That'll be first down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, we've touched on the skill players for the Wildcats. Harms, Pites, Kobe Heitman, Shea Morton. Carson Sudbeck is a very, very solid fullback. But let's not forget about those 3 up front, and Dylan Denninger, Tegan Scoggin, and Matthew Meisenheimer, who have done a tremendous job.
Absolutely. The success of your offense comes off of your offensive line. Morton will elect to keep on the fake reverse to Heitman. He's looking for some room down the left sideline. He'll be forced out of bounds after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Bring up second and about 7 for the Wildcats.
In talking to the Mead coaches ahead of time, it sounded like as the year wore on, they've had some injuries and some different things like that, and they've had to make shift. And so many times, in small schools, if you lose a player at one position, sometimes it's almost like 2 or 3 positions, because you'll move a linebacker here, you move a defensive back up to where the linebacker was.
Absolutely, a lot more moving around than your larger 11-man schools. Morton takes a snap out of shotgun. He's looking for some room up the middle. He'll fight his way for a solid gain. That'll bring up third and about 3, maybe, no, even better, third and about 2 at the most for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Mead has a big nose guard. Looks like Bailey LaCroix, 245-pound junior. And that time, Scoggin and Denninger made a nice double-team block.
And again, that comes down to preparation all week long. Your coach is trying to set your players up for the most success. So I look for that to be a guy that they double-team majority of the game. Morton looking to throw. He had Heitman in the hands, but the pass knocked away. That was number 5, Blaine Nicola for Mead there on the pass defense.
In talking about Shea Morton this year, we started to he comes into the season completing 50% percent of his passes, 72 out of 144, for just over 1,000 yards, and Shea has run for just over 800 yards. So he's got a chance
The
this
other
year.
stat I look at, 20 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. That tells you he's smart with the ball, and that's what you want out of your senior quarterback.
And that's spoken
Flag
like
on
a
the
true quarterback himself from back in the day. But you're right, though. That percentage of touchdowns to interceptions, he takes care of the football on top of everything else. But he's a great decision maker. He's got a chance, like I said, to be, before the season's over, 1,000 yards, both passing and rushing.
And that was a flag, false or offsides on Mead. Got drawn off with a little bit of a hard count there. So that'll bring up 1st and goal, about 2 yards out for the Wildcats. Morton fakes the handoff. He's looking for room up the middle, and he's got it. Just a solid hole there by the Hartington-Newcastle front line.
Again, they double teamed the nose, and the linebacker on that side kind of jumped inside, and like I said, Morton walked in.
Wildcats will come out set for the 2-point conversion. Morton in shotgun. He's got Carson Sudbeck in the backfield with him. He'll fake the handoff. He's looking to throw. Lob pass up. That's to Harms, and the 2-point conversion is good. With that, ladies and gentlemen, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats now lead 8-0 with 10 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Now, it'll be interesting, Mason, on that play. They faked the Heitman on the jet sweep. If they come back to that, there was nobody that went with Heitman, so almost earmark that to come back to, because absolutely nobody went with Kobe Heitman.
Absolutely. I would think after that first play, even though it was brought back on penalty, that was something that they would respect. I imagine Mead's coaches have been talking about it all week long. Respect Heitman and his speed. Don't let him get in an open field.
And again, we don't know enough about Mead to know who exactly, what roles of perhaps some of these injured players was. But again, if they've had to move some players around, you don't know how many reps, how many looks a certain player has had at different positions.
Absolutely.
And maybe it's not as much as what it could be, but I just know our experience has been like when you lose one player, sometimes you lose 2 or 3 just because you have to move different guys around.
Meisenheimer doing the kicking once again for the Wildcats. And it'll be, again, a short kick on the ground. Mead will start off at their own 32-yard line.
A couple other notes of interest. Tomorrow night, we want to wish the Cedar Catholic Trojans good luck as they play at Oakland Craig tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Wynot currently is playing at Johnson Brock. And we may have a score from there that we may be able to get to a little later.
Mead coming out shotgun formation, 1 running back on the left side of the quarterback. Looking to throw, and he'll get his guy over the middle. Post route. Be a gain of about 8 for Mead.
And that time when you saw number 16, J.T. Haig, split out on the near side, you saw Kobe Heitman come up and is going to play nose-to-nose with him. And I think he's going to have help with Sam Harms over the top. If you look back, Sam's going to help him over the top.
Raiders coming out in pistol formation now. Be a handoff up the middle. Running back finds some room. It'll be a first down and a few more for the Raiders.
One of the films I watched this week was when Mead played Johnson Brock, the team we were talking about earlier, that did beat them 44-0. But that game was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. And Mead had a lot of good plays in that ball game. They completed the passes. They had a couple times inside the red zone. They just couldn't punch it in.
Raiders coming out again in that pistol formation. Quarterback with the running back behind him in shotgun. He'll look to hand off, and he will just be met by a wall of purple. Ball's loose, and they will call it a fumble, and it is Hartington-Newcastle ball. just a solid play, holding the running back up. And I think that was number 15, Jake Pites. He's the one that made sure to strip it loose while the running back was being stood up. And that's something I think that you coach all year long. You got guys stood up, you rip at the ball, and the same thing goes to the other side. If you're stood up, both hands on the ball, tuck it. Kind of a rough start for Mead so far. 2 kind of mishaps on just, keeping the ball safe. Fake reverse to Heitman. Morton looks for room up the middle. He'll get about 3.
Making the tackle, number 32, Bailey LaCroix.
Nice play at the nose that time by number 32, Bailey LaCroix. And again, we've talked about it different times. He held Shea up, pats him on the back. You love to see that in high school football,
Absolutely.
Any level of football.
Absolutely. Wildcat shotgun formation. Heitman comes in motion. He'll get the jet sweep this time. He'll try to reverse field, but be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring it to about 3rd and 9 now for the Wildcats.
And you see the tackle made by A.J. Carrot there, who's a 160-pound sophomore. Mead's got some youth in places. Again, like I said, when I watched film of them, I was really impressed with how many good plays they had. It's like you said, we play Johnson Brock. They've got Ty Hahn, and he can make plays on his own.
Morton looking to throw. He'll dump it over to Heitman and open on the left side. He's got the first down. He plows his way through the first guy, shoved out of bounds after getting the first down and about 9 more. That'll bring up 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 30-yard line now for the Wildcats.
And again, that's that play, though. They fake to Heitman. They look a couple other places, and then Heitman, nobody went with Heitman down the left side. And, there's so much going on so many times in the Wildcat offense with fakes, gives. Again, Shade in an underrated part of this game, he's a tremendous ball handler. His fakes are, and if your eyes aren't right on defense, you lose you've really got to play your responsibility.
Absolutely. I mean, you didn't know he was going to throw to Heitman there until he threw to Heitman. He was looking downfield. There was nothing really to get a read off of.
Right. If you're the defense against this, you have to just play your job and trust your teammates to do their job.
Absolutely. I know I've said it earlier in the season. You kind of got that 3-headed dog that you got to deal with this Wildcat offense. Strong run by Carson Sudbeck up the middle. It would be a gain of about 3. Bring up 2nd and about 7 for the Wildcats.
And as we talked about Cedar Catholic being at Oakland Craig. Bloomfield is kicking off at the same time this one did against Pender. Then Laurel Concord Coleridge is playing at Cross County in Stromsburg. That's also got a 6 o'clock. So a fair amount of teams from this area in playoff action.
Wildcats coming out, shotgun formation. Heitman lined up at running back. It'll be a speed option to the right. Pitch to Heitman. He'll barrel past the 20-yard line. And that'll be another first down for the Wildcats. Bring up 1st and 10 at about the 18 of the Raiders defense.
And when you see Shea, this offense, he's just in such command. He can run the option. He can throw the ball, the jet sweep, the ball handling. He's just got as a coach, I know it's always so comforting to have what's basically an extension of the coach on the field. He's just in complete command of this offense.
Heitman comes in motion. A little bit of a high snap. Morton looking for room up the middle. He's following Carson Sudbeck, and he'll get a solid gain of about 4 or 5 there on first down. Even more. About 7 there.
And Jake Pites had a nice block on the linebacker where he took him down inside.
Gain of 8 makes it 2nd down and 2 at the 11-yard line.
Bring up 2nd and 2 now for the Wildcats as we approach the 6-minute mark of our first quarter. Morton with the handoff to Sudbeck up the middle. He'll fight for the first down and a few more.
See, and then, we talk Harms, we talk Pites, we talk Heitman, we talk Morton. And Carson Sudbeck is just a perfect complement. He's kind of a little bit of a hammer in there between the tackles.
Absolutely, with the speed that you have from Morton and Heitman and even harms, and Pite's got some speed behind him. It's good to see that you got a sophomore running back who's not afraid to get physical in between your guards. Morton looking to throw and couldn't find anybody. He'll be brought down. That'll be the first sack of the day for the Raiders. Bring up 2nd and goal for the Wildcats at about the 10-yard line now.
Loss of 6 on the play. 2nd down and goal at the 11-yard line.
Morton will come out in an empty set shotgun. Heitman out to the right. Sudbeck comes in motion. Be a speed option right. That reverse again to Heitman. He'll cut it upfield and then looking for some room. He'll get it to about the 2-yard line.
Actually, give Mead a fair amount of credit there. That was a nice play by the DN, fighting off the block and keeping Heitman kind of back inside. Now, Kobe's a very talented runner that can make things happen on his own, but I'm really impressed with Mead's getting to the football, playing the responsibilities.
Yeah, that was number 68, Nick Laughlin. Just stayed home. He contained that run, which was what his job was.
And he had to defeat the block while doing it. That's not easy to do.
Morton looking to throw here. He'll scramble out to the left. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Same young man again, number 68, Nick Laughlin. He's made back-to-back very nice plays for the Mead Raiders.
Hartington-Newcastle at the 11-yard line.
That'll bring up 4th and goal for the Wildcats at the 10-yard, 11-yard line of the Raiders defense.
You know, we talked a little bit about Mead evidently has some injuries, some things that have Wildcats come in pretty healthy. They've got some kids, end of the year nicked up, but nobody, they're really not missing any of the regular starters.
Well, and with that timeout by Hartington-Newcastle, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm Marie Haar, Vice President and Ag Lender at Bank of Hartington, and a Northeast Nebraska dairy and beef producer. Whether it's developing a marketing strategy, a break-even analysis, or cash flow projections, at the Bank of Hartington, we understand the changing demands and challenges of today's grain and livestock producers. We understand these challenges because we are farmers, and we're living it too.
And welcome back. If you're just tuning in now, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 8-0 with 3 minutes 52 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Wildcats have the ball at the Mead 10-yard line, 4th and goal.
4th and goal at the 11-yard line.
Quarterback Shane Morton coming out shotgun formation with Carson Sudbeck in the backfield. He'll look to throw. It'll be a high one to Harms, and it just bounces off the chest of Harms. That'll be incomplete. Turnover on downs for the Wildcats. Mead Raiders will start off 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
Again, well thrown ball. I'm sure if Sam had to do it all over again, he let the ball get to his chest instead of getting it with his hands. Nice play design, well executed. Sam will come up with that more often than not, but give the Raiders credit. Big stand by the Raiders.
Mead will come out in pistol formation. Motion into shotgun. Quarterback looking to throw. He'll go over the middle, and it'll be through the hands of his receiver, as well as solid coverage there by Shea Morton.
2nd and 10.
Raiders coming out in pistol formation again. Be a handoff sweep to the left. Ball's loose again, and it'll roll out of bounds.
Tackle by number 22.
That's the third time the Raiders have put the ball on the turf so far.
Third down and 12.
That time they were able to get it back. The first few times the Wildcats recovered.
Mead coming out, third down and 12. Be an empty set shotgun formation for the Raiders.
Again, you see Haig at the bottom of the screen covered by Heitman, and then he's going to have help over the top with Harms.
And it'll be just a slant route pass complete for the Raiders. That'll bring up fourth and about 4 for the Raiders.
This little quarterback that Mead has is number 20, Luke Carrot. He throws the ball well. He put it in a very tight window that time.
17-yard line.
And just for a freshman as well.
Exactly.
Raiders lined up to punt. And that one will be kind of a short kick. It'll get just past midfield and a little bit more. Be down by the Raiders. Hartington-Newcastle to start their drive. First down and 10 at their own 31 with 2 minutes, 51 seconds left to go. And while we got a little pause here, just want to give a special thank you to the Bank of Hartington, tonight's sponsor. They made sure that tonight's game was able to be aired. So we just want to make sure that they know that they're appreciated for, essentially making this happen tonight.
Most certainly. We've had tremendous sponsorship all year. And like you said, for the Bank of Hartington to come, it's very...
Morton looking for some room up the middle after the fake jet sweep to Carson Sudbeck. He won't quite get back to line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats.
Again, I'm very impressed with Mead seems to be very sound defensively. I do think if they protect Morton, there will be some opportunities in the passing game again, mostly just because of the size and talent that the Wildcats have at receiver.
Absolutely. Morton gets the snap. He'll fake the jet sweep to Heitman. He's looking for room up the middle. He breaks a couple tackles. He's loose down the left sideline. He's got a block. He's got room. He's gone. 6 more points for your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats. Just a solid all-around play. Morton making some things happen, but Heitman getting out there, making a have-to-have block, as well as Sam Harms getting out there, leading the way, making sure their quarterback gets all the way to the end zone. And now we've got a 14-0 score.
Mead in a lot of that play at the beginning wasn't in bad shape to make that play. Again, Morton's a nice player. I mean, he's just a good player. When things break down, he can do some things physically.
Morton looking to throw for the 2-point conversion. He'll throw it up to Jake Pites, and they will call it a catch, so the 2-point conversion is good. And that will bring your score now. Hartington-Newcastle 16, the Mead Raiders 0 with 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the game. And like you were saying, Shea Morton, he's a good player, makes things happen, and that is what you want from your senior quarterback with multiple years at the helm.
Exactly.
Of the offense.
On the touchdown, the Wildcats were going to get a several-yard gain, but just his talent was able to break a couple tackles and then the speed to take it the distance. And then that play, the conversion, wasn't really Mead again defensed it pretty well. It's just Pites is 6'3", he's 195 pounds, and he puts his arms up. That's a big target.
And that's something you're excited. He's got a couple more years left here playing for Hartington-Newcastle.
Yeah, and I think you've seen him improve game by game.
Absolutely.
At the beginning of the year, he's starting out as a sophomore. He was decent. Now he's become a difference maker.
And I think the big turning point, honestly, when I saw the big turning point for Jake Pites was against Wynot a few weeks ago. 3 receiving touchdowns in that game. Just a solid all-around performance by the sophomore. Meisenheimer doing the kicking for the Wildcats. And this time Meisenheimer will put a full leg into it. It'll be returned at about the 10-yard line. Mead looking for some room. Solid return there by the Raiders. They'll be starting off at about their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, with the young man that returned it was the quarterback, Luke Carrot. We have him listed as a 140-pound freshman, and he plays with a nice aggressiveness. We talked about how he throws the ball. He hit that kick return up there really well.
Mead coming out shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield with the quarterback. Quarterback keeps looking for room down the right sideline, but he will be brought down in the backfield. I think that was number 15, Jake Pites. Just keeping contained, gets off his block and gets about a 2-yard loss there for Mead. Bring up 2nd down and 12. Hand off to the running back up the middle, and he's met instantly by number 15, Jake Pites, and number 22,
Dylan Denninger.
Dylan
And again, Dylan's enjoyed a very nice senior season. Again, for those watching at home, if you get a chance, when Mead splits number 16, JT Haig out, watch Kobe Heitman will generally take him right at the line of scrimmage, and again, he's got help over the top with Sam.
And he's on the far side of the field right now, split out. Looking to throw, he'll throw it into the flat, and that solid pass defense by number 80.
Then he's Shea Dickus.
Sophomore Shea Dickus. Solid play by the young sophomore.
Yeah, and again, I think with that coverage, they're trying to get Mead to go somewhere else, but I still think you'll see them taking a couple deep shots to Haig at some point.
And that's just, solid pass defense there to just stick with your guy. That's one of the typically harder routes to cover as a defensive back, is that out route to the flat. Good punt by Mead. It'll take a friendly bounce down to about the Hartington-Newcastle 13-yard line. With that, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats will be starting off 1st and 10 at their own 13. There's 34 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Wildcats will come out shotgun formation, empty set. Morton in the backfield by himself. He'll roll to the right immediately, looking for someone to throw to. He'll go along to Harms, and just over Harms' hands, and that is an interception for the Mead Raiders.
JT Haig.
JT Haig, the solid receiver.
And if you notice there, when Hartington came out, initially number 5, Blaine McCullough was on him, and McCullough's a very stout young man, but he's a little shorter. And they switched to get Haig over on Harms. Haig's got a little more size, and made a nice play. Only the 3rd interception of the season thrown by Morton.
Raiders will be coming out, starting off in pistol formation, motion, the running back up. So shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the right. He'll look to throw to his receiver on a curl route. That'll get him a gain of about 6, maybe 7. With the clock winding down here. Just under 10 seconds left to go now in the first quarter. And it looks like the Raiders will choose to let the clock run out here in the first quarter. And with that, end of the first quarter, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 16-0. And with that, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back at the start of the second quarter.
Hi, I'm Eric Hamus, Ag Loan Officer at the Bank of Hartington and a Northeast Nebraska beef producer. At the Bank of Hartington, we strive to build relationships based on trust and service that last generations. We work with our clients to develop financial plans that help them meet their goals. We know that for our farmers, it is much more than a job, it's a way of life. How do we know? Because we are farmers, and we are living it too.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in now, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 16-0 here at the start of the second quarter. The Mead Raiders just got an interception on Hartington-Newcastle's last offensive drive. They are now 2nd down and 4 at their own 35. Be a handoff to the running back up the middle, and he will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage by number 48, Matthew Meisenheimer of the Wildcats. And as well on that tackle was number 80, Shea Dickus, the sophomore coming in. Made two solid things happen so far. He had a solid pass defense on Mead's last drive, which eventually led to a punt, and getting there along with Meisenheimer for the solid tackle for the loss. Looking to pass quick, and he'll find his guy. Just a quick slant route there by the Raiders. That'll get them a first down.
Yeah, that
Think
seems
about
to
midfield.
been their pass play of choice so far, that quick slant.
First and 10 for the Raiders.
Yeah, we really haven't seen the Raiders take a shot yet. They're kind of just staying comfortable with that short to medium range throws for their young quarterback. Raiders coming out, pistol formation, 2 receivers out to the left. Handoff up the middle, and he will be brought down just after the line of scrimmage, gain of maybe 1 on the play for the Raiders.
Ball carrier number 30, Golden Croy. Tackle line number 48, Matthew Meisenheimer. Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9 at the 38-yard line.
2nd down and 9 for the Raiders. Coming out in that pistol formation again, quarterback in shotgun with the running back behind him. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. It'll be a handoff up the middle again, but he is met immediately by number 22, Dylan Denner, and number 8, Kobe Heitman.
Yeah, they're having a right now. They're having a hard time getting Dylan Denninger blocked with any consistency.
Down at 12 at the 39-yard line.
3rd down and 12 now for the Raiders.
Up front for the Wildcats defensively, you do have Denninger and Pites at the ends, Meisenheimer's at the nose.
Pistol formation for the Raiders. And motion is running back up to his right side in shotgun. He's looking to throw. He's immediately met by Jake Pites on the rush, and that is a solid sack for a loss of 15 or more for Jake Pites. Just instantly off the edge. Quarterback was looking to roll to his offside, and Jake Pites was there to meet him.
Yeah, I gotta believe there was they weren't quite on the same page as their blocking assignment because nobody touched Jake Pites on that.
4th and 24 for the Raiders. They'll be lined up to punt. Heitman back deep to return for the Wildcats. Solid punt for the Raiders. Heitman returns. He's looking for some room. He's bounced to the left sideline. He's got a little bit of room. He'll cut it back up the middle and back out to the left. Dylan Denninger lead blocking. Heitman fighting for more. He'll bring it to the 10-yard line of the Raiders. Solid 35. I can't do my math very well at this time of night. Solid return there by Heitman. Morton lined up in shotgun. He's got Sudbeck in the backfield with him. He'll fake the handoff, looking for room up the middle. He'll bounce it out and be brought down at about the half-yard line.
That's the play again where they'll pull the backside guard. He'll kick out the end, and then Jake Pites or that time Sam Harms will lead up through the hole. And they've run it tonight already. That's the play, if you remember, they'll come back with where they'll fake the handoff, to fake that blocking action, and then that tight end that's supposed to lead up the hole just releases out into the pattern. The time they ran it tonight, it was on the conversion where
They hand off up the middle. Flag on the play. We do have a signal touchdown, but there, again, is a flag on the play. And they are signaling false start against the Wildcats.
But it wasn't on the conversion, but the Wildcats did run that play down towards the goal line. And Mead actually had a defense pretty well. They've obviously, like you talked about earlier, all the film they've watched, they've seen it, and they reckon it. Give Mead credit, they recognized it. But then again, like I said, then you just simply run the ball and let him lead up through the hole. So many of the Wild, and a lot of offenses are like that. One play sets up another play.
Morton in shotgun. He's looking to throw. He'll throw it up for Pites, and he's got him on the left side of the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. That'll bring the score to 22-0 with the 2-point conversion yet to come.
And again, that was that action again where the backside guard and tight end pulled. They had a hard time getting away from line of scrimmage, but Pites on his route was able to get open.
And Hartington-Newcastle doing something we haven't seen since really earlier here in the season here at home, lining up for the 1-point conversion. And it is good. Solid kick by number 45, Aiden Gratzfeld, for the Wildcats to get that extra point. And with that, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 23-0. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the first half. But as we've kind of seen from Mead throughout the year, you can't really count them out. They've fought hard in all their games this season, and
no, you can see where you can see why they've won some games this year. They've got some nice players. They seem to be well organized. They know what they want to get done. You can see that's no accident that they're 5-3.
Back to the Raiders is number 44. Kicking off the Wildcats, number 48. Matthew Meisenheimer.
Wildcats lining up to kick off. Meisenheimer doing the kicking for the Wildcats.
Again, with kickoffs, you might see them squib it. You might see almost an onside. You might see it.
We've seen everything so far.
They do a little bit of everything with this.
First a squib kick, then we saw essentially an onside kick that just rolled a little far, and then we saw Meisenheimer on the last kickoff just put the boot to it. And this time it will be an onside kick. I believe that was Tegan Scoggin actually kicked it on that one. Mead gets the recovery though. Bring up 1st and 10 for them at their own 36-37. Raiders coming out shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield along with the quarterback. Quarterback looking for some room to the left side. He'll get just past the line of scrimmage before being brought out of bounds by a group of Wildcats on that play.
Again, that formation where they run 2 tight ends and 2 running backs in the backfield. It's almost like a Wildcat set where they just snap the ball with a couple lead blockers. I mean, there's other things they can do off it, but that seems what they primarily want to do with that. Here it is again.
Yep, they'll be lining up the same
way. I would look
way.
for them to do something different off it this time.
Well, they will run it to the right this time. He's got some room down the sideline. He'll be brought down a few yards short of the first, bring up 2nd and about 7
Again,
for the
really,
Raiders.
It was the same play to the other side.
Third down and 1. 34-yard line.
And it will be 3rd and 1 for the Raiders here.
And you got to believe it's 4-down territory at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Of the game.
Absolutely. And they're actually,
It's going to be a timeout, Mead.
and I guess they saw something they didn't want to see. They had their quarterback actually out there on that play instead of number 5, which kind of see him can kind of assume that that's kind of their Wildcat set. That's Blaine Nicola, 135-pound junior, listed as a wide receiver for the Raiders. So see him in the backfield. Typically, you're looking at that Wildcat formation. 20, Luke Carrot is the 140-pound freshman. He's been doing all the passing for the Raiders. So for folks at home, that's kind of the difference we've seen so far in the game. We've got number 20 in the backfield. He's the one that has handled all the passing responsibilities. See number 5 taking the snaps. He's generally more of a running back receiver type.
We do have a final score on Wynot's game at Johnson Brock, and that went to the favor of Johnson Brock, 62-14.
And it'll be that Wildcat formation here again for the Raiders. It'll be up the middle run, looking for some room on the dive play. He'll be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down for a loss.
Just maybe not quite a yard, but lost a little bit on that.
And the refs have it marked. It'll bring up 4th and 2 for the Raiders. And you bring up that score, Johnson Brock versus Wynot, 62-14. Johnson Brock's been a solid team all year long. We talked before the game. They do have a player on their team who is a Division I recruit. He's a solid player.
And in watching, like I said, we were watching Mead Johnson Brock. They had some other nice players too. They're a state-ranked team, and so we do want to congratulate Wynot though on their year and making it to the playoffs again.
Absolutely. Looking for a dive play here. Be met at the line of scrimmage. I believe he'll be marked short. That is a turnover on downs for the Raiders. Bring up 1st and 10 for the Hartington-Newcastle Wildcat offense at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, and their 4-man front, Meisenheimer, was able to come from the kind of the backside defensive tackle and make that play.
Wildcats starting off shotgun formation, empty set. Morton in the backfield, fakes the reverse to Heitman. He's looking for some room on the left side after that jet sweep. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be the loss of about 3 for the Wildcats.
And again, Bailey LaCroix, the 245-pound junior, makes that play. He's been impressive.
Solid physical player. You definitely see why early on we saw the double teams by the Wildcat offensive line. He's a player that kind of commands that respect.
Yeah, he does. He's a big young man.
Shotgun for the Wildcats. He'll be handoff to Heitman on the jet sweep to the right. He's looking for some room. He's got a little bit. He'll cut it back to the middle. And he will be brought down at the Raiders' 23 or 24-yard line.
And really, initially, the defensive end for Mead wasn't in bad position. But, one thing you can't do with a young man like Heitman, you can practice against the play, but you can't simulate that speed in practice.
Absolutely. Heitman definitely showing that his speed is that extra factor.
Yeah, because it wasn't played badly by the defensive end, but Heitman just outran it.
And they'll fake the jet sweep this time. Morton looking for room up the middle. He bounces it out to the right sideline. He's just fighting for the goal line. Will they give it to him? They mark it. That's a touchdown for the Wildcats. Excellent effort there by the senior Shea Morton to fight for the extra yards and for the extra inches to get that touchdown. And that's the thing you want to see out of your senior quarterback. Your offensive line gives him that opening, and he just makes it worth it for those guys up front.
And Shea came in with 821 yards rushing. He's got to be close to 100 right now. So he's closing in on that 1,000.
And they'll go for the kick, 1-point conversion. Again, it will be wide to the left. So with that miss, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 29-0 with 5 minutes, 51 seconds left to go in the first half. And with that, we'll take a quick commercial break and be back shortly.
In the community of Hartington, we keep life simple. The simple moments, a simple smile, and keeping you connected to the world with simply the best internet service. Hartelco has built a fiber optic broadband network that powers your homes and businesses' Wi-Fi with super fast download speeds up to 100 megabytes per second. Imagine no buffering and the whole family using your Wi-Fi at once. It's simple. Upgrade to the speed you need by calling Hartelco today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 29-0 with 5 minutes, 51 seconds left to go here in this first round of the state playoffs game. Matthew Meisenheimer set up to kick off for the Wildcats.
Picture cover line number 21, time ready for. First and 10 for the Raiders at the 32-yard line.
Mead coming out in pistol formation. First down and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Receiver motions from right. He'll look to throw. Throws long right away, and he will have his guy. First down and about 10 more for the Raiders.
Nice reception by number 3, Hunter Pickworth. One of the things the Wildcats are doing when the Mead player goes in motion across that corner that has him will automatically blitz. And that time he blitzed, got right in the face of number 20, Luke Carrot. Give the young man credit. The quarterback hung in there, delivered a nice ball, and he took a hit afterward.
Be lined up in shotgun formation again. Receiver motions. He's looking for that jet sweep, but he's met instantly by number 8, Kobe Hyben in the backfield. Just a solid read there by Hyben.
But again, as the player goes in motion, you'll see the Wildcat corner go with him and then automatically blitz on the backside.
That'll bring up 2nd and 14 for the Raiders.
The Wildcats are doing a little substituting up front, giving a couple guys a blow. Parker Hopping's checked in at the nose, and Tegan Scoggin, who starts on the offensive line, is checked in now defensively.
That quick up pass, looking for his guy again. Harms with a solid pass defense there for the Wildcats, though.
And again, they're trying to hit number 16, J.T. Haig, on the deep ball there.
Well, and you can see they're trying to do whatever kind of pass route they can that allows the quarterback to get rid of the ball quickly.
See, and by putting Harms over the top of him, again, Harms is 6'7", so when he reaches up, he's
over 7 foot.
Yeah,
when he reaches
his
up.
wingspan's a little bigger.
Raiders line up shotgun formation, 3rd down and 14 to go. Receiver motions, quick pass slant for the Raiders. He will find his guy and get past the original line of scrimmage in about 4 or 5 more. Bring up 4th and about 5 for the Raiders.
Again, when Mead sends their man in motion, that's an automatic backside blitz by the guy that initially has him. And again, the young quarterback stands in there and delivers a nice ball.
Approaching the 4-minute mark here in our first half. Raiders lined up in shotgun. Pistol set. He'll motion his running back up. He's looking to pass right away. He's got a solid rush in front of him. He throws it up for his guy in the corner. Morton with the solid pass defense, and that will be a turnover on downs for the Raiders. So your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcat offense will now be starting off first down and 10 at their 15-yard line.
Kind of saw three nice plays on different levels there. Carson Sedbeck made a nice blitz to put pressure on the quarterback, who was able to kind of give himself just enough time to get the pass downfield and a catchable ball. And then you saw, like you said, Mason, you noted the nice play by Morton defensively, because that ball was in the area to catch.
With that, Morton comes out shotgun formation. He's got trips to the right, but he'll motion Heitman. Heitman gets it on the jet sweep, looking for room down the left sideline. He'll make contact with one guy and be forced out of bounds. Gain of about 8 for the Wildcats there.
With Kobe Heitman, he's got speed, he's got vision, he's got moves. But one of the things I really like is how he finishes his runs. He's the aggressor going into the attack, into the tackle.
Well, we talked about earlier with these teams, you don't see each other on a regular basis. This is about it. So they see his speed and all that in the film all week long, but he's physical. Yeah, he's not light. He's a 180-pound player. Morton rolls right looking for his guy. He's got Pites over the middle on the post route, and he'll fight for a few more yards after contact. Be just short of the Raiders' 30-yard line. So cross midfield, solid yards after the catch there by Pites. That's one thing I like about this young sophomore is anytime he's made a catch, he's gotten himself turned upfield and just gone downhill, and that's what you want.
You saw Harms go deep on the right side, and then Pites comes across on the crossing pattern. Again, Morton's got his head up. That's a tough combination to cover.
Be jet sweep to Heitman. He's just looking for some room. He'll cut it up the middle. He'll get a solid gain of maybe 6
again, though,
on that play.
Mead had 3 players on the perimeter to meet Kobe, who's, again, his vision that time, he turns it back in and then finishes a physical run. But, again, you can very much see why Mead won has had a nice season up to this point.
Bring up 2nd and 4 for the Wildcats. Morton will be in empty set shotgun. 2 receivers. Nope, that is 3 over to the right. Shovel pass to Pites in the middle. He's got some room down the middle of the field, and he's gone. Put another 6 points on the board for the Wildcats. That's a solid play right there. Bring Heitman in motion on that jet sweep, and Pites just comes across in the middle and gets the shovel pass there by Morton.
Yeah, a little delay. He didn't start coming across right away, kind of delayed. And you see him there, though. He turns the corner. You saw Jake kick it into another gear there in the last 15 or 20 yards.
I think that's a play he's been excited about all week long.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I think you're exactly right. Because he saw the end zone, and that was a whole different gear.
Wildcats lined up to kick the extra point again. And it looks like a strong one, and it is good. With that, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 36-0. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the first half. With that, we'll take a quick commercial break and be back for the remainder.
Hi, I'm Cindy Bruns, manager and ag lender at the Bank of Hartington Bloomfield Loan Production Office. I'm also a Northeast Nebraska beef producer. At the Bank of Hartington, we strive to build relationships based on trust and service that last generations. We understand the challenges facing our producers and are eager to assist with all the financial needs of your farm. We understand the challenges because our ag lenders have true ag experience.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, the Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 36-0. There are 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the first half of play. We just came off of a solid play there by the Wildcats. Fake jet sweep to Kobe Hyman, which has been kind of their bread and butter for the year. Quick shovel pass to Jake Pites, who he saw the end zone as soon as he had that ball. And here we are, Meisenheimer doing the kicking for the Wildcats. It'll be that squib kick. And the Mead Raiders will recover just short of their own 30-yard line. They will start off 1st and 10.
Mead takes over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. 29-yard line.
And I think for the Raiders, this is kind of the point where we have to get something started going. We're almost the end of the first half. We need to put some points on the board, need to make something happen so that way you kind of want the momentum to cause the momentum to shift going into halftime. Be a handoff to the right. There's a fumble. Bad exchange at the handoff between quarterback and running back, and the Wildcats recover. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Wildcat offense at the Mead 25-yard line.
And the young man that caused that fumble again is Dylan Denninger, who just shot into the backfield and was able to hit the ball carrier just after he got it. And like you said, I don't think the exchange was ever completely clean, but I think Dylan Denninger had a lot to do with that not being a clean exchange.
Absolutely. We've been seeing some solid play by the 220-pound senior all season long, really, and you can tell he's decided he's going to step it up a level here late in the season. Fake jet sweep to Heitman. Morton will keep looking for some room up the middle. He'll get a solid gain of 5, maybe 6. They'll mark it a gain of 4, bring up 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats. Shotgun formation. Heitman in the backfield with Morton. Fake the handoff. He's looking to throw. He's going for Harms on the post route. He's got him in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. That's the thing that we've mentioned earlier in the season. It's just Morton's got so many weapons to choose from. Harms showing he's got some breakaway speed there. Just got behind the safety on that play for the just easy pass for Morton.
And again, the little things, the fake jet sweep, Kobe does a nice job carrying out his fake. The line gives plenty of protection where Shea can step into the throw. And again, you're thrown to a 6'7" target with long arms. It's, like you said, it's just a lot of things to cover.
With that, the Wildcats missed the 1-point try there. There's 2 minutes left to go in your first half. The Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 42-0. And you hit the nail on the head. It's everything starts on that offensive line, and they so far tonight have been giving Shea, Morton, and Kobe Heitman room to make things happen. And I think absolutely a lot of credit goes to these guys at the front line. They're showing that they came to play today, and they are going to own that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and it is. It's probably, for years when it was just Hartington, had a number of nice lines, but the lines were 170 pounds. These kids are north of 200.
Yep.
And solid. And it's just like I said. Then you've got to deal with the skill players, and it's just a lot. I can only imagine what the opponents of the Wildcats have to do defensively to try to get all this in and get the responsibilities. And
it's one thing to handle. Okay, they've got one weapon, they've got two weapons. Carson Sudbeck, physical runner. You got to wrap this kid up, or he's just going to keep pounding the ball all day. Shea Morton, he can throw, he can run, he makes smart choices. Kobe Heitman with the speed, physical player. Sam Harms, tall, fast. Jake Bites, tall, fast. Both of them good hands. It's just a lot to choose from.
Both Harms and Pites, are really good basketball players also. And you like to see, a lot of times that's the way it is with receivers. The good receivers also seem to be basketball players a lot.
After the squib kick there by the Wildcats, Mead Raiders will be starting off just short of midfield at their own 36-yard line. They'll come out in that pistol formation. He's got one receiver out to the left, two to the right. Be a dive up the middle, and he's met instantly.
I think it was Dylan Deniger again.
Yep, Dylan Dennery, and I see number 48, Matthew Meisenheimer in there as well. Yeah, that was Dylan Deniger making the original contact. Pites was actually the one coming to help finish things off.
They're going to give Deniger a bit of a break now, and they're going to put in number 54, Mason Bushcamp, a 225-pound freshman. And that's nice for some of these younger kids to get reps with the top units.
Absolutely, that's something you'll love to see happen late in the season, getting those opportunities. Quarterback looking to throw. He's throwing up that high, deep pass quick again, and it will sail out of bounds on him.
And again, they're trying to get the ball deep to J.T. Haig, and the pressure was the difference there.
And their freshman quarterback, he's had a solid season as well. I mean, completing just over half of his passes, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. About 124 yards a game is what he's been averaging throughout the year. He'll throw the quick little bubble pass, but met instantly by 3 Wildcat defenders. Jake Pites, Kobe Heitman, Carson Sudbeck in on that tackle.
I got to believe at halftime the Wildcat coaches are going to be very, very pleased with the completeness of their performance tonight, offensively, defensively, running the ball, passing the ball.
Absolutely.
Special team, they just played a very solid ball game.
4th and long for the Raiders. They're lined up to punt as our clock is ticking down to just roughly 30 seconds left to go in the first half. They will get the punt off. High, strong punt. Heitman signals everybody to get away. And the ball will stop at about the Hartington-Newcastle 20-yard line with 23 seconds left to go in the first half. I completely agree. Hartington coaches at halftime got to be telling their guys that they love what we've seen so far in this first half, but going in the second half, don't lighten up.
Right. And the other thing is the Wildcats are coming off a really physical ball game last week with Bloomfield. You know that anytime you play Bloomfield, it's going to be physical. And there had to have been a lot of sore young men last Friday morning as that game was on Thursday night. And to lose a tough ball game, a physical ball game like that, to come back and play this well is really a credit to the players and coaches both.
Morton looking to throw. He's looking for Heitman, and just off the hands of Heitman on the streaker out there, just running straight down the left sideline. Solid throw by Morton, just throwing where only Heitman was going to be able to get that one. Can definitely tell the Raiders have respect for his speed, though. They gave him all the cushion, made sure he was not getting behind their corners on that play. 16 seconds left to go in your first half of play. Morton in shotgun formation. He'll throw a quick screen to Heitman, and it'll be off his hands. Ref signaling incomplete, as the ball was out in front of Heitman on that screen pass.
Yeah, you won't see Kobe drop that a lot. I think he got anxious to take off with the ball.
13 seconds left to go. 3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Shotgun formation. Morton fakes the handoff. He's looking. It'll be a dump over the middle to Pites. Pites looking for some room. He's got some wheels. He breaks a tackle. Physical, brought down just short of the Raiders' 30-yard line. The clock will stop at just over 3 seconds.
Again, almost like a little delay. Pites kind of gets lost in the traffic.
And after that 29-yard gain, Hartington will take a timeout, stopping the clock. 3 seconds left to go in the first half. Been so far, if you're a Hartington-Newcastle parent fan, it's been a exciting Halloween night here.
Yeah.
Hartington-Newcastle from the defense, offensive line, up into your backfield, and it's just everybody's been able to kind of impose their will in tonight's game.
And with that, the second half, you'll look for the Wildcats probably fairly early to substitute, get some of these kids off the field, because in all likelihood, they're looking at that rematch with Bloomfield. We talked about being unfamiliar with your opponent. Next week, they're going to be very familiar with their opponent. And I got to believe it's a game that the Wildcats, if things stay true to form, will really be looking forward to, because that was a game they got down a couple scores early, came back, and they were ahead going into the fourth quarter of that game.
That will absolutely be a physical match to watch. Morton lining up in shotgun. He's got two receivers split to the left, one to the right. He's looking to throw. It'll be that screen pass, this time to Heitman. Heitman's got some room, solid blocking downfield, and Heitman walks into the end zone. Late flag being thrown.
It'll be interesting to see what they call it, because Zach Burcham was downfield. I believe it was Jake Pites was also down there.
I'm actually really interested to see what they call it, because Jake Pites and Zach Burcham both kind of took their hands off as soon as they had Heitman coming up by him.
They're going to call a hold. But that time Morton took the snap, kind of drifted back a long ways, and Heitman just kind of delayed. And then, like you said, had the little screen, had all kinds of room. The downfield blocking was looked to be solid. But again, we're up here, they're down there. They could have grabbed the jersey a little bit. But regardless, you got like the effort to block that.
Oh, absolutely.
For that long
20,
downfield.
25 yards downfield, and you got solid blocking going on down there. That's what you want to see as a coaching staff, seeing that practice and your guys committing to it.
So the Wildcats are going to have one more play now. Time's expired on the clock. This will be an untimed down.
Empty set for Morton. He's got two receivers left, one out to the right. He's looking. He throws it over the middle for Heitman, and he's got him. Touchdown, Wildcats. So with time expired, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats now lead 48-0 over the Mead Raiders. And I believe they'll be lining up for the extra point kick once again.
I believe you'll have Gratzfield again. He's kicked the ball well tonight on these.
He's 2 for 3 right now on extra points in tonight's game. Looking to go 3 for 4. Rough snap. He'll get the kick. That's a high one. And it looks like it'll just drift a little bit to the left. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of your first half of play, Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 48-0. We will take a quick commercial break here during halftime, and we will be back to announce the second half of tonight's game.
Hi, I'm Marie Har, Vice President and Ag Lender at Bank of Hartington, and a Northeast Nebraska dairy and beef producer. Whether it's developing a marketing strategy, a break-even analysis, or cash flow projections, at the Bank of Hartington, we understand the ever-changing demands and challenges of today's grain and livestock producers. We understand these challenges because we are farmers, and we're living it too.
Nothing slows you down more than computer problems. Get up to speed again by taking your computer to Hartelco Computers in Hartington. Our team is here to help repair, clean, and troubleshoot all of your favorite brands of PCs. Our customer service beats the big box stores hands down, and you'll leave knowing your computer is running effectively and efficiently. We are also a Dell dealer that passes the wholesale savings on to you. Give us a call to find out more or bring your computer into Hartelco Computers today.
I got a defensive stat though. I can't wait to see your. I'll let you react to it.
Ready? I'm bringing it now.
Welcome back to halftime at the Hartington-Newcastle Wildcat Mead Raiders first round state football playoff game. At halftime, it is Hartington-Newcastle 48, Mead 0. My name is Ken Kneifel. Again, I'm here with Mason Miller and Corey Pearson doing the camera work. We've got a couple unofficial halftime stats, Mason. And I told you I wasn't going to tell you the stats because I just want to see your reaction to them. The offensive ones probably won't surprise you. Again, these stats are unofficial. Shea Morton has 4 touchdown passes and right at 150 yards passing. His 4 touchdown tosses went to Sam Harms, Kobe Heitman, and then to Jake Pites for 2. So Shea's thrown for 4. He's rushed for 2, and they estimate he's got about 92 yards rushing, which I believe puts him about 89 yards short of 1,000. So he's got over 1,000. He's got over 1,000 passing. He's approaching 1,000 rushing. He probably won't get 1,000 tonight, Mason, because we'll have the running clock. I don't expect the starters to be in real long in the third quarter, but they'll be in some. But a stat that I want to get your reaction to, we were talking about Dylan Deniger and his basically living in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan at halftime has 6 unassisted tackles, 2 assisted tackles, so 8 total tackles, which okay. However, out of those 8 tackles, 6.5 of those tackles have been for loss in the Mead backfield, and that's an astronomical number.
Absolutely.
That's one you see sometimes over a season.
Yes.
He also has forced 3 fumbles, 2 of which have been recovered by the Wildcats. So Dylan Deniger just had a lights-out game defensively. Jake Pites has 3.5 tackles for loss. Again, Mead has done some nice things. I think one of it, they've hit some nice slant patterns. The young quarterback for me has thrown the ball very well. It's just been real hard for them to get anything done consistently on the ground.
Well, we've seen all the excitement on offense and all that, and then you bring up those defensive stats. You've got Dylan Deniger, who he's leading the way as the senior. He is showing the guys that this is how we're going to play. This is how physical we're going to be. We are going to own the line of scrimmage. And then when you've got the younger guys buying into it. Jake Bites is the next one you brought in there. He's coming up and stepping up to the plate as well. So I think even though we've been kind of caught with all of the excitement of the offense, this defense for the Wildcats is pitching a shutout right now.
Right. And again, when their quarterbacks had some time to throw, he's delivered some nice balls. And again, we talked about Mead seems to be a little banged up, and that all has a factor in things. But nevertheless, you control what you can control. And again, this has been probably as complete performance by Hartington-Newcastle as I've seen for at least as complete. They played some good ball games, but they played really, really well. And then to top it all off, they're going to get the second half kick.
Yes, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the game, Wildcats kicked a squib kick, kind of a short mid-range kick on the opening kickoff, and the kick was fumbled, and Wildcats recovered. So here they go, starting off the second half, getting the ball. Bit of a line drive on the ground kick. That's recovered by the Wildcats.
Lane Hymas.
Number 32, Lane Hymas on the return.
Lane's a 110-pound freshman who is going to have a nice career for the Wildcats. Very, very quick, shifty, tough little guy right now. But he'll be just fine as he grows and gets bigger.
And starting off the second half, Shea Morton will still be out there at quarterback. Carson Sudbeck at running back. And we have a whistle. Okay. Not quite sure what that was, but Morton in shotgun formation. He'll fake the handoff to Sudbeck up the middle, looking for room down the left sideline. He'll stiff arm before start bounce, and there's the flag I was expecting to see, as a little bit of Shea Morton's face mask being used to help bring him down along the sideline there on that play. And that is what the call will be. Personal foul, face mask against the Mead Raiders. And that is a 15-yard penalty. That'll bring up first down and 10 for the Wildcats. Now at the Raiders' 25-yard line. Morton in shotgun formation. He's got receivers on both ends. Motion his receiver from the left and fake the jet sweep and take it up the middle. He'll get a gain of 5, maybe 6 on that quarterback dive up the middle.
And again, you'll see this a lot of times where the coaches will come out and even with a big lead, they'll go with their starters to kind of make sure everything gets, settled in. But again, we've got the running clock going now.
Morton in shotgun. That's Zach Burcham, and he'll get the jet sweep. He's looking for room down the right sideline. He'll cut it upfield. He'll get the first and about 5 more. It's like you said, coming into the second half, got a solid lead for your team, but you kind of want to keep that first team guys in there, make sure everybody settles down. It's the start of the second half. Start bringing in your younger guys, let them get warmed up, get a feel of the pace of the game before you, all second team guys in or all third team guys in.
Exactly. Zach Burcham, who just carried the ball, is a 145-pound senior. Zach's got good speed. He's a nice player, big-time contributor on special teams, and does a nice job when called upon offensively or defensively.
And they'll fake the jet sweep to him this time. Morton will reverse field to the right, looking for some room down the sideline. He'll fight his way upfield. They will give him the touchdown as he stretched across. Morton, again, just showing that extra effort to make something happen. It was kind of solid defensive play there by Mead. Stayed home. Morton was forced to kind of bounce it back into the backfield and get around to the right sideline. Fought his way in.
Yeah, credit Mead. I mean, they defense the play at the point of attack. But again, you deal with a young man who's started for 3 years, who's a really, really good athlete. He's a handful. He's now accounted for 7 touchdowns on the night.
Gratzfeld lined up to kick the extra point. He's 2 for 4 tonight. And it will be blocked. I think he used his foot to block it on that one.
Yeah, it looked like we had a kind of low snap in his hand, and he did. He kind of blocked it with his foot, and kind of limping off right now.
Well, with that's the first time I've ever seen a kick blocked with a foot. Your score now, Hartington-Newcastle 54, Mead Raiders 0. 8 minutes, 51 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
And you hate to see that in the last ball game. Number 12, Cade Morton, who blocked the kick, is a 215-pound junior who's done some good things tonight. And like you know, we've talked different times, Mason, about how sometimes football can just be such a game of attrition as you lose different players throughout the season. And I know we've said it a couple times, but again, so many times when you lose one player, because you move other players around, you kind of lose 2 or 3 sometimes, and because they're out of the position they normally play.
Absolutely.
You know.
Oh, I remember that stuff back. I would have been a junior at the time. That senior class above me we had the numbers, had the size. They were all physical. It was a strong class in all sports. And I think by the end of the football season, everybody was just so beat up, banged up. Yeah. Guys like Ross Eichhoff, Miles Matheny, Colton Benson, they all had some sort of nagging injury late in the season.
I look for Meisenheim. This will be Gratzfeld kicking off this time.
It is Gratzfeld kicking. The strong rolling kick to the middle of the field. Raiders will recover. Be starting off at about their own 29-yard line.
And again, let me tell you, as a coach, when you get in this situation, they're going back with a fair amount of first teamers. You've really got to work hard on the sidelines because you're trying to get kids in. And yet you want to maintain a balance, give kids a certain number of plays. This can be a little bit of a challenge at times. You've really got to have all the coaches working together to get the kids on the field in the right combinations and things.
Absolutely, and you can see some of the upperclassmen making sure the lowerclassmen get lined up right, get ready. Be a solid stop there in the backfield.
And again, you've got basically the first team defense out there. 2 that I see that are generally not starters are you got Tegan Scoggin, who starts on the offensive line but not the defensive line. He's in at a defensive end. And then Aiden Gratzfeld, number 45. So you've got I believe about 6 starters in right now with 2 of the, and then Zach Burcham.
And then Shea Dickus, who's now subbing off. Right. Shea Morton coming out.
Number 50 checking in is Mason McIntosh, a 140-pound freshman.
And it'll be a running back sweep to the left, but he's met by a wall of white and purple. He'll fight his way, though, past the line of scrimmage, gain of about 2 yards for the Raiders. Bring up 3rd and about 8.
Of your regular defenders in there, the starting defenders, you've got Shea Morton is coming back in, Kobe Heitman, Matthew Meisenheimer, Shea Dickus. So it's about a 50-50 split right now.
Shotgun formation for the Raiders. Pistol set. Running back motions up beside the quarterback. Looking to throw. He'll roll right. Throw it over the middle, but it'll be just short, bouncing off the ground before it gets to his receiver. That'll bring up 4th and 7 for the Raiders.
And again, you've got the defense of Kobe Heitman chucking him at the line of scrimmage with help over the top, and Kobe was able to kind of disrupt the route just enough there.
And a bunch of the Raiders, number 3, Hunter Pickford. Back in for the Wildcats, number 32, Lane Hymas.
And instead of Hyman, we'll see number 32, Lane Hymas, lined up for the punt. Raiders punted away. Hymas just backing off, waving everybody else away. And the Wildcats will be starting off their next drive at their own 21. 5 minutes, 58 seconds left to go in the third quarter with this running clock. Your score, Hartington-Newcastle 54, Mead Raiders 0.
And again, not all, you've got several, you've got the kind of the mix and match group out there. You've got Pites and Morton yet, Harms, Carson Sidbeck, but then you've got Zach Birch and Parker Hopping is checked into the ball game.
They hand off to Sudbeck up the middle. He'll fight past the line of scrimmage for a few. Looks like it'll bring up 2nd and about 6 for the Wildcats.
Lane Hymas is checking into the backfield now. And again, a lot of times what teams will do too is, especially early, is they'll start like the first play with most of their starters and sub in from there, just to keep that organization a little cleaner.
Morton will hand off to Hymas. He makes a solid move and bounces up the middle and then back out to the left.
Number 32, Lee Hymas, tackle by number 300 Vickers. Gain of 5 on the play, third down and 2 at the 29-yard line.
Lane Hymas, the 110-pound freshman, showing that he's got a little bit of moves hidden behind him. Solid run there by the freshman. Good vision.
Yeah, he does. He's got very good vision. He's quick, shifty. Before his career is done, he's gonna do some nice things.
Morton in the empty set shotgun. He'll send Bertram in motion, and he'll give him the jet sweep. He's looking for room down the right. He'll get the first down and maybe 2 more.
Takes the ball up to the 49-yard line, the 34-yard line.
Mason Bushcamp checking in, and now Dylan Deniger checking out of the ball game.
So now, and we'll have our both ends substituted. Shea Dickus and number 45, Aiden Gratzfeld, coming in at tight end. So right now, your only original starter is Shea Morton at quarterback. They'll have Lane Hymas in the backfield.
I believe predominantly he'll be handing off or pitching out. One of the young men that really, the one injury that does come to mind right now for the Wildcats is Turner Deniger. He's a freshman, Dylan's younger brother. Turner's been the backup quarterback quite a bit, so he's been out, and I believe he may be out for the season. But so that might be why Shea's getting a few more reps.
Well, it's like you said, if he's spending a lot of the time out there handing off, maybe making a pass, but not really doing a lot of the heavy work. He's just kind of out there keeping all these young guys focused on what they need to do, making sure they're organized and trying to set them up for success. He'll throw for Dickus. It'll be looks like there's a little miscommunication on the route on that play.
I do know Bennett Severs has played some quarterback too. Kind of funny, when I was at Wynot, we had, you don't have a lot of numbers. You've got a first-team quarterback, a second-team quarterback, maybe a third one that has taken some reps, but we had the play bans on the players, and we got ahead of a pretty good margin, and our first-team quarterback came out. Our second-team quarterback played. He came out. Our third-team quarterback went in, but we didn't have a play sheet on him, and it led to several confusing downs for a while.
Morton sends Bertram in motion. He'll give him the ball on the jet sweep to the left. He'll be forced out of bounds. That pretty close to the first down marker. Be interesting to see what they call here.
Yeah, our chain crew on the far side, I believe, is Brandon Eichhoff and Brett Mainquist and Brandon Mainquist. See if their services are called upon, because that's really close.
Well, I'm not sure how well of an angle I've got up here. It looks close. They're going to call it 4th and short.
Well, it really almost looks like they have it. We're going to give this to Lane. Nope,
fake the handoff. Shea looking to make something happen. Oh, they're saying he's out of bounds.
Looks like right about where they just had it, so it's going to be close. We might have to see Mainquist, and Eichhoff come out on the field. Oh, they're going to give it over to the Raiders on downs.
They call it turnover on downs. Raider offense coming out.
You got to think Coach Ulrich's heart was in his throat a little bit there as Shea took off down the sideline, and there was a host of Raiders there to meet him.
Yeah, sometimes the best thing you can do when you got a senior quarterback out there is, quarterback draw play. He's got some room down the left sideline. He's past the 20, the 10, and he will be drugged down a yard or two short of the touchdown.
And again, with the second group in and things, you saw some confusion defensively right before that, and that's real understandable. You try to mix and match and get players on and things like that. That'll do it for the third quarter.
Well,
it goes quick when they go running clock.
Absolutely. For all of you just tuning in now, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 54-0. We are now entering the fourth quarter of the game.
And they've got to take the ball all the way down because the quarterback ran down to the 2-yard line. So now they've got to take it, bring it all the way back down to the other side now to start the fourth quarter. And again, you can tell right now at the quarter break, they're doing a lot of organizing on the Wildcat sideline, trying to get everything squared up with the combinations that they want to have. And like I said, I do remember that can be kind of a tough, confusing thing.
Absolutely, but late in the season, like this is you rarely get opportunities like this to get your second and third team guys in there and getting the experience of it's basically November, getting them that experience of playing this time of year.
And I'm not sure quite how the Wildcats coach the positions, who's responsible for what position, but a lot of times each assistant coach is responsible for their guys, getting them out there and rotated in. Again, you noted earlier, though, give Mead credit. They're still playing hard.
Be lined up in an empty set, looking for that corner pass, and he'll have him. And that's the guy we've been talking about all day, J.T. Haig for the Raiders. He is their go-to guy at receiver, and they connect here in the fourth quarter for their first points of the game. Mead will line up for two. Empty set, shotgun. And it'll be a quarterback draw play, and he's got room. That 2-point conversion is good. So with that, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats 54, Mead Raiders 8, 11 minutes, 56 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break and be back for the remainder of the ball game.
Hi, I'm Dana Adama, Manager and Ag Lender at the Bank of Hartington, NYBRA Loan Production Office. I'm also a Northeast Nebraska beef producer. At the Bank of Hartington, we work with our clients to develop financial plans that help them meet their goals. We know that for our farmers, it is much more than a job. It's a way of life. How do we know? Because we are farmers and we are living it too.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 54-8 with 11 minutes, 56 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Just want to give a quick thank you to the Bank of Hartington for making sure tonight's game could be broadcasted. Solid kick by the Raiders. Bertram looked to pitch it back, but he's just going to take it, and he's going to go all the way. 15-10-5. Touchdown, Zach Bertram. 6 more points for the Wildcats here in the fourth quarter. That was a really interesting start. It almost looked like he didn't want the ball. He was going to pitch it back to his teammate, decides he's going to keep it right down the middle of the field.
Right, untouched. And again, Bertram has good speed himself, you know. Besides, again, thanking the Bank of Hartington, as well as, like I said, all year long, all of our sponsors. A little shout out to Marie Naker with Hartelco downtown, and Marie does a lot of the coordinating for these telecasts, and she does a nice job, communicates well, and so we'd like to thank Marie and Hartelco for all their work, not only our games but for Cedar Catholic's games also.
And they'll throw for the 2-point conversion, and they're signaling it good. And with that,
and the pass there was passed by Bennett Sievers, who is that other quarterback. Bennett connect with Shea Dickus for the conversion.
With that, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead 62-8. There are 11 minutes, 46 seconds left to go in the game.
Hopefully Bennett will stay healthy the rest of the game, because they may have, but I'm not aware of another quarterback they have. I knew they had
no hidden fourth string quarterback in there.
I'm aware of. They may have one by now, but I know it's been Sievers, Turner Deniger, and Shea Morton. So hopefully Bennett will stay healthy and get through the game okay. Of course, now a lot of teams will do if they get caught in that situation, just snap it, go like a wildcat. But Bennett threw a nice ball there for that conversion, put it right on the numbers.
No, that's something that is also different between 8-man and 11-man. Even though the Wildcats have shown they can throw the ball this year, typically 8-man, 11-man, you can get by with just a strong physical running game in 8-man more than you can in 11-man. In 11-man, having somebody who's really familiar with that quarterback role is important.
We talked about that last week when the Wildcats played Bloomfield. Bloomfield ran an awful lot of what it was their quarterback, but it's basically Wildcat, where he would just...
Mead's returner finding some room up the middle and then bounces out to the right sideline. He'll go all the way. Back-to-back kick returns for a touchdown for either team.
The kick returned by Mead will make it 62-14.
And it seems that we had a little bit of a technical issue with the mics during this playing time. So back-to-back kick returns for a touchdown. That'll bring the score 62-14. Your Wildcats lead. 11 minutes, 37 seconds left to go in the game. And with that, I want to give just a special thank you to the Bank of Hartington tonight. They're our sponsor for tonight's game. They're the ones making sure that tonight's broadcast could happen so you folks at home could stay in the nice and warm building and watch tonight's game. And the 2-point conversion is no good.
Yeah, and on top of that, Mason, we'd like to also, again, like I said, thank Hartelco for bringing these broadcasts, making these broadcasts possible. Marie Naker seems to coordinate a lot of this with communicating with us and the sponsors, things like that. So we want to thank not only Marie, everyone at Hartelco Sports. Corey Pearson, our cameraman tonight. It's nice to be able to do this. We get some comments, and I'm sure Hartelco gets other comments too, about people that are listening to the game that just live too far away to make it. I know one ex Hartington teacher, counselor, and coach, Dave Leverson, who lives in Crete, tunes in as often as he can, and pays very close attention to what's going on with the Wildcat sports. And there's a lot of others too around that. Some live quite a ways away, and thanks to Hartelco, we're able to bring these broadcasts of the Wildcats and the Cedar Catholic Trojans. So we're very fortunate to be able to do this.
Absolutely. I know for a fact. Back to return for your Wildcats. Number 16, Scoggin, and number 32, Lane Hymas, taking over the returning duties for the Wildcats. And it'll be a round bouncing kick there for the Raiders. Scoggins got some room down the right side. He'll stiff arm a little bit. He'll get to the Raiders 30-yard. I'm just amazed. Almost back-to-back kick returns for touchdown.
Tegan Scoggin is a 200-pound sophomore. He starts on the offensive line, plays some defense. He'll be wanting now the ball more often. Yeah, he looked good on that. He ran well.
Strong runner.
He'll be in Coach Ulrich's ear now, wanting more carries and things like that with the ball.
Almost like you're going to kick it short to me because you don't think I'm going to return it all the way? Okay, watch. Solid return there by Scoggin.
So now you do have Bennett Sievers in at quarterback.
Shotgun formation. He'll hand it off up the middle. That's Dylan Deniger taking some running back duties. He's loose down the left sideline and forced out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line, short of the 15.
Dylan spent a lot of years blocking for the ball carriers, so they give him a carry now. So we've had back-to-back linemen carry the football, and they actually look pretty good doing it. There's a nice hole by that second group of offensive line, and Dylan will come to the sideline again. He'll do the same thing. He'll Coach Ulrich, you need to give me the ball more.
Different team, different time. He'd probably be a fullback.
You're right. I mean, you're exactly right, because he very much could be a fullback, especially like the old I formation.
Oh, absolutely. 225-pound, about 5'9", 5'10", solid built kid. I could definitely see him.
Now, on Halloween today, he came dressed as Mr. Stoppert, Coach Stoppert. I'll guarantee you, Coach Stoppert would not have made that run.
Coach Stoppert, I remember him back then. He was a tight end for Wynot Blue Devils.
Yeah, he did some good things. He's a good athlete, but we're not going to give him any credit for that.
He'll be looking to pass. He's got his guy. That was number 45, Aiden Gratzfeld. We've seen him doing some kicking tonight. Yeah. Sophomore with the solid reception on that play, going up to get that one.
Now, one of the things I've heard with Aiden Gratzfeld at receiver is he has some really nice hands, and he showed it there. He reached up and snagged the ball. I've heard he catches the ball very, very well. Again, up front, you've got Mason Bushcamp, Parker Hopping, and I believe...
And it'll be past to Gratzfeld again. He looks like he'll be knocked out just short of the goal line. They're going to mark him out about 2 yards out. That will get them the first down, though. Officially first and goal from the 2-yard line for the Wildcats.
So really the Wildcats tonight, though, have accomplished everything they wanted. They came in, they played well, and they've got their starters now off the field healthy.
See number 7,
that's
Reese Morton in there, 125-pound sophomore. He'll take the handoff up the middle, looking for some daylight.
Number 7, Reese Morton, making the stop.
And they'll mark him down short. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back shortly. You want to let him know? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in now, There's 7 minutes, 43 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter of tonight's game. Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 62-14. It was a pretty solid first half by the Wildcats. Went into halftime not allowing a score for the Raiders. As we've entered the fourth quarter, it's kind of turned into a little bit of a scoring session by both teams, as we've seen the second and third team players get some time on the field. Just looking for any room. He'll be knocked out short of the goal line. Number 42, Bennett Sievers, at quarterback there for the Wildcats. He replaces starter Shea Morton here in the fourth quarter. Third and goal at the 1 yard line for the Wildcats. Sievers looking to throw for the touchdown. Gratzfeld, solid fight for that one on that play. Sievers kind of forced just to get rid of it. Gratzfeld goes up, fights with the safety on that one. Touchdown Wildcats. Solid play there by Gratzfeld.
That ball was thrown by Bennett Sievers. Even though Bennett wears number 42, he's a 145-pound sophomore.
And they're lining up for two, and it will be no good. So with that, your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats 68, Mead Raiders 14, 6 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in the game. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back.
Hi, I'm Eric Amos, Ag Loan Officer at the Bank of Hartington and a Northeast Nebraska beef producer. At the Bank of Hartington, we strive to build relationships based on trust and service that last generations. We work with our clients to develop financial plans that help them meet their goals. We know that for our farmers, it is much more than a job, it's a way of life. How do we know? Because we are farmers and we are living it too.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, there are 6 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in tonight's game. Your Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats lead the Mead Raiders 68-14. Number 6, Tegan Scoggin, doing the kicking for the Wildcats here late in the game. And it'll be a kick directly at the front line of the return team. Raiders recover. They'll start off their drive at their own 39-yard line.
Again, this is going to be a night when everybody that suits up for the Wildcats and is able to play will play tonight. And that's nice for those kids that get to have to practice all week long against the first group.
Mead looking to go deep for their main guy, and they'll find him, and he will just break one tackle and walk into the end zone. That is JT Hagg, the guy that we expected him to get some passes tonight, maybe a little bit earlier in the game, but He's shown up here in the fourth quarter. That'll be his second of the game. That'll bring Mead's score up to 20, pending the 2-point conversion. Mead will come out, shotgun formation. Empty set with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Quarterback looking to throw. He'll throw a crossbody across field. It'll be just short of his intended receiver, so that 2-point conversion will be no good. 5 minutes, 57 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Wildcats 68, Raiders 20. I made a perfect point earlier. It's great for these younger guys getting the time in here late in the game, especially this late in the season, which typically doesn't happen. Right. Usually your games are so close at this point in the season that your young guys, they go through all that practice all year long, all week long. To see them get out there and it kind of, they're being reminded it pays off. You will get on the field. And then that just helps your program build for the next year. Your guys grow accustomed to, we play football in November, so every year you're expecting to play football in November.
Exactly, and it also makes when you know you can still play, makes that practice, like I said, a little bit crisper. You pay attention a little bit better. But again, we want to congratulate Mead Raiders on their season. They're going to finish 5-4 this year, but. I tell you what, there's a number of teams that didn't make the playoffs at all that would love to be here. So you got to give Mead a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
And congratulate them on a nice season.
Laneheim is showing a couple moves there. He'll get the ball out to the 20-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 starting off the drive there for the Wildcats.
Now you're going to see the Wildcats bring back their first group on offense.
Shotgun formation. Morton back at quarterback. He'll bring Heitman in motion. Jet sweep to Heitman on the right sideline. He's looking for some room. He'll stiff arm 1, fight through 2. And they're going to mark him out at midfield, 40-yard line. So 1st down and 10 more there on the run for Heitman.
And Mead actually right now has a number of second-team kids in. And again, it just gets, end of games like this can just get awkward at times. Who you have in, who your opponent has in.
Well, I think, on that last drive, Mead had a lot of their first-team guys in on offense. It'll be a shovel pass to Sudbeck. He's got some room down the right sideline. He'll fight to about the 10, breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Number 23, Carson Sudbeck on the shovel pass. Strong running there, just showing why defensively you got to wrap up. You can't just kind of shoulder charge the guy. Carson Sudbeck stayed on his feet, stayed in bounds, and got the remaining 7 yards into the end zone.
Right, just the shoulder won't get the good backs down or out of bounds.
On the kick, point number 45, Aiden Gratzfeld.
Aiden Gratzfeld doing the kicking for the Wildcats. And it is good. So Gratzfeld now, if I believe my math is right, 3 for 6 in tonight's game on the extra point kicks. And a touchdown for the kicker.
That's right. Again, you know, these crazy things can happen in the playoffs. We have not heard a score from Bloomfield tonight, but that's who the Wildcats will be playing next. The winner of Bloomfield-Pender. If Bloomfield wins, the game will be at Bloomfield. And actually, should Pender pull off the upset, the Wildcats would travel then to Pender. Last week, you know, the Wildcats lost a 10-point game to Bloomfield. You're talking about the quarterback run earlier, Mason, and last week Bloomfield it was somewhat shotgun. It was shotgun. It reminded you of a wildcat attack where we'd snap it back to Braden Eisenhower. And I believe if I heard this right, and I think I did, that he carried the ball 59 times last Thursday. And
that's putting the workload on your back.
As offensive line and quarterback run almost all night. And like I said, the Wildcats led the game in the fourth quarter. I don't think the Wildcats would be upset at all with that matchup. With full respect, they have Bloomfield. They respect Bloomfield completely, and they know what a great program, what a great team that is. But they went toe to toe with them last week, and
I think that should be a very, very good game. Being Hartington, we just came up a little bit short, even though it was a 10-point game and all that. A lot of that was late scoring for Bloomfield and all that.
There had to have been a number of kids on both sides of the ball that were just sore on Friday morning because that game was physical.
Mead coming out, pistol formation. Be a dive. Nope, fakes the dive. Quarterback run to the right. He's looking for some room. He'll get about 5 yards.
Now you've seen both teams now have got their younger kids in. Even though Mead's still number 20 at quarterback, he's a freshman.
Yeah, but at this point in the season, you get that young man all the reps he can get. And
he looks like he's got a very bright future ahead of him.
Absolutely. I definitely think they look to him to lead the team going down the road in future seasons.
That was a nice tackle there by Camden Hazing. Camden is a 180-pound freshman.
Yeah, you like to see that from your young freshmen, getting out there, not being afraid to be physical. Well, we're starting to approach the final 2 minutes here of tonight's game. If you're just tuning in, the Wildcats lead the Raiders 75-20. Raiders 3rd down and 3, looking to pass. Quarterback buys himself a little extra time. He goes long and just can't connect with his receiver on that one. We'll bring up 4th and 3 for the Raiders.
And Carson Hopping, 110-pound freshman on the coverage there. Okay, just over 2 minutes left. So the game next week will be on Wednesday. They'll probably have a game time, whether it's the Wildcats against Pender or against Bloomfield. The game time probably be worked out sometime tomorrow, maybe Saturday, but I'd look for it to be done tomorrow.
And Mead's got some room up the middle with their back. He will take it into the end zone. And that'll bring your score 75-26 now with 1:45 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Even though we have a running clock in the second half, it stops on scores. So we've had quite a few clock stoppages here because it's been kind of just up and down the field fairly quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been all 26 of Mead's points have come here in the final quarter of play. Hartington-Newcastle has put up, I believe, 3 or 4 touchdowns as well here in the fourth quarter. Starting off back-to-back kick returns for touchdowns.
Again, the game time for next week won't be known, but they do play on Wednesday next week. And the Wildcats will be on the road either way. But again, like we were talking about, the way the state rankings are today, in that eastern side, the Wildcats would face number 3 Bloomfield if they win tonight. And then again, you don't ever know, but the next round has a matchup against possibly the second-ranked Fall City Sacred Heart team, and then Humphrey St. Francis is lurking there. That's to get to Lincoln.
And it'll be a solid kickoff here by Mead. Lane Hymas doing the returning for the Wildcats. And he'll just come up and take a knee after he gets past the 15-yard line.
They're going to probably have that was.
And
again,
that will.
We want to wish Mead well. Again, congratulate them on their season. Again, making the state playoffs is a special thing, and congratulations to Mead on doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, especially they've had some players get a little dinged up throughout the year, had some injuries. Hard fighting team though, all the way through the game and all that. Like you said, here in the fourth quarter they've put up points. You wouldn't just watching them, you wouldn't be able to tell that they've been playing a full game tonight. So
they've like I said, we congratulate them, wish them well, and again, we wish the Cedar Catholic Trojans luck tomorrow night as they go down to take on Oakland Craig. I believe that game time I think is at 7 down in Oakland. We want to wish the Trojans good luck tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Well, Lane Hymas on the carry. He'll get a gain of 4, maybe 5 on that play. As the clock ticks down below 30 seconds.
Again, the Wildcats accomplished what they wanted to tonight. They came out, they played really well. They got their starters off the field without further injury as far as we know, and now the preparation for round 2.
Absolutely, and I think after, like we brought up that tough, hard-fought game they had a week ago against Bloomfield, this is what you like to see out of your team.
Right.
Coming out, bouncing out, physical all game long, offensive line, defensive line, skill position players, fighting for the extra yards, keeping the ball safe. We didn't have any.
We had the one interception by Shea. Shea threw his third interception on the year. But Mason, the tone for this game was set right away as the Wildcats kicked off, hit a squib kick that they recovered. The Wildcats went in and scored. That kind of set the tone for the night. The first half, Shea Morton threw for 4 scores. He hit Kobe Heitman on 1, Sam Harms for 1. He hit Jake Pites on 2 scores. And then he had 2 rushing touchdowns to boot. And then we talked about the defense, and Dylan Deniger putting up a stat that you just don't see a lot with recording a total of 6.5 tackles for loss in a single half. He just basically lived in the Mead backfield. And then the second half, like you said, got to be some younger kids playing on both sides. And actually, like I said, quite a few points. The Wildcats led 48-0 at half, so they put up 27 in the second half. Mead put up all 28 of theirs I believe in the fourth quarter, wasn't it?
In the fourth quarter, yes.
So again, we want to congratulate Mead and wish them safe travels back to Mead. And the Wildcats will wait to see who won the Bloomfield Pender game and get ready for that.
And I think we were talking, typical thing we do, players of the game tonight. I had my guy in mind. Usually throughout the year, I've kind of, offensive or defensive line. They decide, you got to give them props for how successful you are. But tonight I'm going to go and be biased, do the quarterback thing. Shea Morton is leading this team like a senior quarterback should. Yeah. And he came out tonight and he refused to go down or not have his will imposed.
Yeah, he's got such a firm control of this offense. He understands what Coach Ulrich wants completely. And then he's got the physical skills around him. He's got the physical skills, and then he's got his playmakers around him. He's got a good offensive line. Even though you're a former quarterback, giving it to a quarterback, I don't think you have any problem there because Shea's very much deserving. I'm going to go with my player of the game. I was a line coach for a number of years, and I'm going to go with Dylan Deniger. He like I said, you don't see a stat line where a young man puts up 6.5 tackles for loss in a half. And I think you made a point earlier with Dylan too, is he's kind of sets the tone of how things are going to be done up front. And what you want your seniors to do, Shay, Dylan, Matthew Meisenheimer, Zach Burcham, and the seniors for the Wildcats, just Sam Harms, they've done a nice job. So, the Wildcats will get ready for round 2 next Wednesday. We'll see what time that ball game is, and we'll see who it's against. But any last thoughts, Mason, before we sign off?
Not really. Just want to give my own kind of thank you to Hartelco for keeping me in mind this year, bringing me in, letting me be a part of this. It's really something special for someone like me I've been away for years, and to come back to town and for them to having Rob Morton getting in contact with me, Marie Naker for making sure I'm in the loop when game times are and all that, checking in with me. So just want to give a thank you to everybody for bringing an old alumni guy back in to appreciate the Friday Night Lights.
It's been fun, Mason. I've enjoyed it, and you've done a nice job. And like I said, I look forward to hopefully we can do this some more. So, for Corey Pearson, our cameraman, who always does a tremendous job, Mason Miller, the play-by-play, my name is Ken Kneifel, and one last time from Russ Hochstein Field, the Hartington Community Complex, your final score in the first round of the state playoffs is the Hartington-Newcastle Wildcats 75, the Mead Raiders 28. Good night.